Okay. Credit that team and Matt. You know, they did a good job, man. They closed that game out, and you know, they made the critical plays. You know, proud of the way our guys fought. You know, I feel like came in ready to go from that aspect, and certainly plenty of energy. But really, this game came down to fourth down and those critical moments, and we were 0 for 2, and they were able to capitalize on 3 of them. So, you know, and those are the 1 or 2 plays really that make the difference when you're playing a really good team. So that's really kind of what it came down to. So like I told the team, it's frustrating. I know we got a lot to be thankful for, even after a loss. You know, and look, we dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole. That's the bottom line. We are in a little bit of a hole, but that's just what it is. There's nothing more than that. So all we got to do is worry about cleaning up this and then getting to the next game and finding a way to win the next one in front of us. That will be, after this day or two here, they get off. That's what the focus will be.
Things on the fourth downs. You guys have gone a few games now without converting one. Is there something that's happening on some of those? Why you have as you did early on, and then Green Bay's decision on that last one just to go for it? You know,
yeah.
You're playing for the win, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good decision. I mean, just, you know, going for the win, finish the game, man, and they, you know, they came up with it. You know, I thought, look, BB was in phase, man. That was sticky coverage, and you know, 13 went up and made a hell of a play. You know, so credit to them. But it wasn't like we weren't in position. That's just those are those moments, you know. But I don't look at it. Look, one of those, I didn't like one of those fourth down calls. You know, it felt like, you know, I don't know how good of an opportunity we really gave our guys on that first one. You know, but you know, we had an opportunity, and even at the end of the day, we had an opportunity, and we couldn't, you know, we just couldn't get it done there later in the game. So.
That doesn't change your approach at all, the struggles you guys have?
No, I mean, it's still, if it, you know, if you, a lot of it depends on where the game is at too, man. Where the game's at, the opponent, how your defense is playing. You know, what do you feel like you have a real good handle on what you're going to get from that defense? You know, who you're going to, all those things. And so, you know, going into it, we like those plays. So, no, I wouldn't say necessarily that's going to have an effect on me. You know, you always want to convert them, and we've had a lot of conversions here. It just didn't work out today.
9 minutes into the game, he's probably a big part of this game plan. We're already without the lead. You just talked about needing somebody to step up, and JMO, you know, you did that for you. Tom had some good catches there down the seam. Just your guys stepped up. I know you fell short, but you had to probably be proud of the way some of those guys stepped up and played on the outside.
For sure. And yeah, when you lose a guy like Saint, it's tough. I mean, there's so many things that he brings to our offense. Everybody knows the production and the versatility he has, but also all the dirty work he does in the run game and all the little things, man, the nuances of where you line up to where you go to who you block. If it's this look to now if they go here, you need to slide back to do that. I mean, he's so freaking smart, man, and he's tough. And so there's a million jobs he does, and he does them at a high level that it hurts when you lose him. So, you know, he and Laporta were kind of those guys for us. And when you lose those guys and then Leafs the next one, you know, it becomes difficult. But with that, a guy like JMO stepped up, you know, and I thought he was electric, made a lot of big plays for us, you know. That was good to see. And we thought he would, you know, get it in his hands. I wish he could have gotten his hands more. We had some calls there that, the defense took him away, and so it had to go somewhere else. But he did a good job. TK, we trust TK. It's why he's here. It's why he's on the vet squad, and we elevate him because he can return for us, which he did, and he can do a million jobs on offense. Tesla made some big plays today. So that is a positive. We had 3 really new tight ends. Now, Dwelly's played for us, but Dwelly kind of started for us. Obviously, we used Skip, and then there was Ferkshire and Horton. So, and it was good to see those guys go compete and mix it up.
Dan, Why do you feel like the pass rush has struggled to make impact plays so consistently over the last couple games?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's a good question. I mean, I need to, until I watch this game, I want to know what this game looks like before I make a comment on that, you know. So I'm not sure.
Outlook on St. Brown? Any idea?
Well, I'll know more tomorrow. I don't feel like this is long term, you know, so that's the good news. But that doesn't mean it won't be here for, you know, could be a week or two, maybe, if we're lucky.
You mentioned dug a hole. How difficult, if he's out and other guys have been injured, how do you see your way out of this hole?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is this, you know, just know with kind of where we're at with the division, you know, and is more of you need a little help. You got to do your job, you got to win, and you need a little help. And that's what it is. But it all starts with you doing your job, and which is us, and finding a way to win. The next one in front of us. It really is that simple. And don't make more of it than needs be. It's frustrating. It sucks. It's tough. But we've done it. We did it to ourselves. And we're the only ones who are going to get out of it as well.
We saw the news of Frank Ragnow obviously going forward. How much are you looking forward to adding him to the mix and just your reaction to him?
Yeah, fired up. You know, fired up to get Frank, to get him back. You know, he wants to play. He wants to be a part of it. He misses the game. He misses his teammates, and so we're really fired up, man. He brings. He's a good football player. He brings a good football player, a lot of production back to that old line and the game itself. But he's also a great teammate, man. He was one of our captains, so he brings a lot to our team.
Can you explain how that all came about? A couple weeks ago, it sounded like you thinking that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it just I think this is something that's been on his mind for a while, and you know, and then he called me. So we were good. What's that?
When did he call you? When did this process?
Well, yesterday morning is when I got the call officially. Now I know there was other things, and look, his teammates had talked to him. You know, I know some of those guys have been back and forth with him, and I got wind of something, you know, not too long ago. But hey, man, we're fired up.
On the topic of the O-line, I know you're not going to make excuses, but how difficult has it been to get into a rhythm with the injuries up front, with the youth up front, and how detrimental has it been to try to find that rhythm this season?
Well, yeah, I mean, it just things are a little different. That's all. It's just a little different. That's the best way to say it. So sometimes you got to go about things a little differently. And I thought those guys battled up there today, man. You know, I thought they did some good things in the run game. I did think we had some pretty good protection. A lot of our play pass stuff. Now, you know, I know we got hit on some stuff, but those guys went in there and competed. Cologne started for us at center, man. I thought he was clear. I thought communication was good. Tried to finish, you know. So, but there's more to it than that too. When things don't go right, it's all encompassing, man. I'm part of that. All right, I can always be better and need to be better, but it really is. It's all the positions. It's not just O-line. So, and that's what it's all about. And finding our own rhythm, man. And once we find the rhythm, keep the rhythm. And you just got to go about it a certain way.
To Dave and Sean, enough urgency on that last drive.
Yes,
6 minute. Yeah.
I know that's frustrating when you're a fan watching, but I know how we needed to play against that defensive front, all right? And it was about playing for the last possession. We were going to do that. Defense was going to get the stop. We were going to use our timeouts, get one more shot to go win the game, and that's how we were playing it. I wanted to play it just like that. So I wanted to keep it in our hands and not turn it into a pin your ears back and start flying up the field with Micah Parsons and those guys.
Sean, last question.
Dan, where do you think you are with your feel of the flow of calling plays?
Well, I can always be better. I mean, I can always be better. But you know, look, I'm always going to want more. I'm always going to feel like I need to do some things a little bit different. But you can always go hindsight on all this. Well, man, why did you run it here? You should have. You know, I wish I would have played pass on this one. Well, I wish I would have dropped back on this one. Well. You know, so But ultimately, look, we didn't win the game. But as far as the way that I wanted to play that game offensively, that was the vision I had for it. We got to convert, man. Those first two series that we had, we got to find a way to convert on third. And then the fourth downs, you know. So you're talking about 2 or 3 plays ultimately against a good team in that moment that made the difference.
One thing, without St. Brown, aren't your fourth down, even at third down options, a little bit limited? And is that where you have to adjust somewhat?
Yeah, I mean,
Not as
look,
easy
it's
to
certainly,
overlook.
he's such a, yeah, I mean, he's a playmaker, you know, and he does a ton for us. And so, yeah, I mean, I certainly don't want to say that it doesn't influence you or affect you, but yet I do have a lot of trust in Tom Kennedy. I do have a lot of trust in JMO, especially when we know what the coverage is and we got him running. We still got Gibbs. And so, man, if you like the players and you like the play, there'll be sometimes you may not like the coverages you think you may get, or if it's, you know, the ball's going to go to this player and it's this route that you're going to have to win on, maybe you don't like it. But, you know, in the moment, it felt like the right thing to do today.